I want to talk about betrayal and how betrayal changes you. It molds you. It matures you. It gives you a reality check that you can't be that nice guy that you always once was, unfortunately. You know? And hey, when you were growing up, when I was growing up, I was a nice guy. I was never a bad person or anything like that. But there were certain things to which I wish I were told earlier. And to realize that not everyone has you in your best interest. And a lot of people, they will walk over you. As sorry and as sad as it sounds, this is the unfortunate truth of humans that's never going to change. There'd be so many times in my life, I'd do something for someone, or without getting into too much detail, I would put my trust into someone to take care of a specific possession of mine, or I would aid someone in doing something to which will benefit their life so they don't have to suffer any form of consequence. And I would put genuine full 100% trust and faith into that person. And they would fuck me over. All the time. 90% of the time, I'd get done over dirty. I've had times in my life where there would be school exams. That person never revised, so I tell the person the answers, even though I have absolutely no relationship with the person I'm next to. And it was more than obvious because we would never talk and that person would only reach out to me for the sake of answers. And there'd be times I would get a reputation for this, and this would go on repeat with a vast majority of people. And so everyone catched on with the people who were too lazy to study. And I was known for those type of reasons, and so I was exploited, and pretty much exploited. Even in the workplace. In the workplace, man, I made a story about this recently, how I was exploited in my sales job. Working my ass off, absolutely working my ass off. Getting sales. I then email my manager, to which I later found out after me leaving the job, is actually a corrupt son of a bitch who exploits many people, specifically preying on the young. I saw this in the job review website of, the company I was working at. That's something I should have seen prior to, even thinking of applying to that workplace. It was fucked. There's moments where someone's having a hard time, you back them up, and then days later, they still speak shit upon your name, as if you never helped ease the pain that they were experiencing at that specific moment in time. I say this to say, I've been betrayed a lot of times in my life, and it's most definitely hardened me. It's hardened me so much. It's most definitely hardened me, man. People are fake. And that's a big lesson, people has taught, things has just taught me. That, Golden, not everyone is kind and generous like you, unfortunately. I'm sure the world would be a lot of a better place if that were the case, but people are selfish, man. People are evil. Some people are psychopathic, Just because you have given someone a specific possession to which you put their trust in them that they will care, doesn't mean it's guaranteed. Not everyone can maintain a piece of material or just equipment or possession of yours in the quality that you would. Do you understand? So they may hand it back destroyed. And even in a non-materialistic sense, this can even be through words or something that you can't really see, but something that will still serve you a benefit, like the example I told you about with school exams. You tell someone the answers through your words and whatnot, and they return the favor with negative energy, negative vibrations via negative words. Fucks us all up. What fucks you up? The person who's been betrayed. And you almost go through like a villain phase. This is how villains are born, guys. Now, I'm not telling you I'm going to be like some flipping flipping serial killer or anything like that, no. But villain in terms of the mindset that I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't want to be a hero. Because I put on my Superman cape pretty much throughout, well, the majority of my childhood and teenage years, honestly. There'd be times I'd do people's homework. I'd spend hours of my day doing people's homework. And I remember when I was doing my that same specific homework, it would take me hours to complete. And then someone else, this is in college, the story I'm telling you about. Then someone else tells me to do their homework. And I just remembered how it took me days of suffering. Like, the homework alone would be so much. I would physically have to spend, I'm not even exaggerating, guys, over 8 hours studying. Because, no, I didn't have to. Like I told you, this was during like holiday season break. But I'm just that type of person. My mindset what my mindset was. And I guess this can pretty much apply to all areas of life. If I get something, I want to finish it as soon as possible so I can reap the fruits of my benefits as soon as possible. So in this context, I do my holiday homework a lot earlier than everyone else so I can enjoy my holiday and do whatever I want. That was my mentality. And hence, that's all the more reason why I was able to finish my college and graduate a lot quicker than my classmate peers, simply due to work rate. And it's just the fact that I was aware how much I suffered, and someone just asked and was lazy, like, I'll go and do it. And then when I was doing his homework, which I didn't have to, I could have done things for my own, doing what I want, who's probably out eating fucking Cheetos. And that same person I'm talking about, let me tell you another story about betrayal. So often in break time in college, we'd always go to this shop, right? We'd always buy donuts. The shop was Tesco's, right? So we'd buy these donuts. They're like $1.20, $1.60. Before we used to split up the price. Then times have changed. I started paying the full price. And he told me that he would, my former friend told me he would pay me, half. He would give me half of the amount. So he'd give me about 80p. And of course, the first few times this procedure happened, no doubt he kept true to his word. He gave me the 50p. But I also found myself having to remind him at times. And what I also found was that there would be times I would see signs of frustration. It's like, yeah, I know. He'd say stuff like that with the expression I just gave you. I'm thinking, why are you getting angry? Are you not a man of your word? And then, months would go past. There would be times I would end up paying the full price. And when he said, I know, he didn't know. That's why he was frustrated, because I had to remind him. Because I just had a feeling. Every time I have a feeling in my brain, an intuition, it tends to come true. You can almost just sense it. It's weird. It may just be a weird superpower I have, but I was able to sense a mile away. Unless I said something that opened my mouth, he was not going to give me the money. And what played on later on in the future served as a testament to that. Because I ended up just paying it. Or honestly, I'd do it so much. Like, it was still in my head that I would need to, ask for what I deserved, because I'm literally paying full price. And it's literally me buying full donuts for him. Now, there's nothing wrong with buying food for friends. But when you've made an agreement, a covenant with someone, you need to stick with it. And he clearly forgot. I'd like to see, imagine. So that's another form of betrayal. And I just never reminded him, which I should have. And it was kind of like a test. It's like, okay, he's disloyal to his words. But one of my biggest betrayals was when I was working at my sales job. And I was putting in 3 weeks worth of hard work, traveling, burning through my own personal expenses to get to point A to point B. Actually working like I was getting paid, putting my full-time energy, the great personality I have. All of those motherfuckers were benefiting from it for free. And it's like, yeah, you'll get it. Like I told you, my sales leader at the time, he was a corrupt fuck. He still is. He's a prick. He has a reputation for it. It's on his flipping website, right? And all of the hard labor that I did, cold approaching people, trying to sell stuff, talking so much to the point where I get fucking lightheaded. I want to pass out, but you gotta keep going because you need to hustle and get the money. You know, walking home, he was fucked. Needing to take a break, walking miles to get home. Still hustling, you need to get that money. All of that fucking hard work I put in, just for him to profit from the money. When I called him and I texted him constantly on WhatsApp, no fucking reply. Now, to make me feel better in a way, he did do it to other people so I feel less attacked. But it still pissed me off because that was 3 weeks of commitment. 5 days a week. So that's already more than a third of my day taken. And the least you could have done was pay me, for fuck's sake. Sucks. Betrayal turns you to a villain, man. And this is why I have this almost don't give a fuck type personality now. And it's like, yeah, I've been that nice guy, man. I've been there. I've been that kid that does everything to please anyone, man. I've been that kid who would just listen to what women say. As we all know, you don't listen to what women say. You listen to her actions. But I was one of those people who would listen to their actions. And then when I took their advice, it'd fuck me over. For example, a woman, what I'm telling you is what happened to me in the past. A woman would tell you not to cry. No, a woman would tell you to cry. That it's okay to show your emotions. I would cry. I remember this was 4 years ago. I would cry, and then they would tell me it's okay to cry. So then I went through a period. This was in 2021. I was 15 at the time. The reason doesn't matter, but the point is I cried, and looking back, the issue wasn't something worth crying about. Basically, I cried because, you know, there was some fucking COVID-19 injection we had to do in the park or something. I never missed it. I never got there in time. So I kind of forced to cry. I was overly emotional. And then I remember that time, my older sister was like, "Go on, it's not that deep, come on." How funny is that? Because literally, like a year ago, I was asked the question, why do men hide their emotions? And I think I said something along the lines of, you don't need to show it. And she was like, you know women burst out crying, telling you that you don't do that. I took their advice. It fucks me over. Another way of betrayal. That woman will sit on you. I remember there was this time. A pigeon came into our house. There'll be birds coming into our house, flying through the window. I would be too scared to kill it. Now, women will tell you it's okay to be emotional, right? They'll tell you it's okay to be in touch with your emotions. It's almost like a shit test. But then when you be emotional by not killing it, her pussy dries up. And I'm talking in a relationship sense, so she's going to get dry up and leave. But on the other side of that, in contrast, if I were to kill it, the fly, with ease, her pussy's going to get wet again. Because you're developing masculine trait. It's weird how women work. It's so weird. It's like, women, why can't you just say what you want? Just be honest, you know? If you want a masculine man, say it. Don't be passive about it. Woman will tell you, you don't need to go in the gym. But she doesn't go for the guy with the fat body. She goes with the fit and shape person. She's literally just eyeing the fit and shape person. I know masturbation is wrong, but when they do masturbate, they're not thinking of fucking a fat guy. They're thinking of a fit in shape guy pounding her, his abs clinching onto her, and he's grabbing her up. She's grabbing the guy, his muscular physique, having tight grip. I know that may seem very vulgar, which it is, but it's true. I'm just putting you on some game. You need to be aware of betrayal, and you need to identify when people are using you, because in this world, guys, not everyone's nice at UG. It's a fucking disgusting world out here. People are sick. They are sick. Sometimes it be the people who are most close by your side that will find a way to fuck you over. And you need to be able to identify that. You need to be able to identify that. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me. So the first time, it just kind of happens. Depending on, the first person who does it. It's unfortunate, but we have to move on. As stressful and as painful as it is, it's most definitely molded me into a villain. To really trust my possessions. There are only a very few people I can trust now. Sometimes it'd be even friends that betray you, and I've been there. I've had friends betray me all the fucking time. I have so many stories of friends betraying me. Put your trust in someone to, keep words and just do what should have been expected. They fuck you over. So honestly, nowadays, for most things, I only really trust myself. But if I were to, branch out a little bit, I'd only trust my family, really. That's it. Because I've been that guy who trusts many people outside of that, and a majority of the time it doesn't end well. So I'm more thick. I'm most definitely more thick-skinned now, and I'm talking out of anger, but not in an emotional way. Like, the anger is there, but I'm just channeling it through words in a way that's not emotional, more rational logic, silent anger, transmuted in a logical way. That's more so what I'm saying. You need to identify betrayal, because betrayal has made me a villain in the sense of I don't need to become a hero. I don't need to save you anymore. I don't need to. I'm going to end off by saying this, going back to my sales job when I never got paid. It gave me a big fuck you moment. It was such a slap in the face, guys. My first ever legal job where I was getting paid. What was supposed to be my legal job where I'm getting paid. Honestly, I don't even know how that company's still running. They use underhanded tactics, from what I was aware, to try lure you in, exploit and prey on the youth so the boss can profit off your work. Hence why they purposely tell you to sign yourself as self-employed so they could get away with being illegal in a way. Because that work is disgusting. You can't pay your people. The fuck's wrong with you as a leader? Prick. People are fake, man. And then, yeah, it really slapped me when I was just out, when I was unemployed again. I was like, damn, I have no money. I wasted 3 weeks working for someone else's dream. I basically worked for free. And I got nothing in return. So I might as well should have stayed unemployed during those 3 weeks now. But maybe not at the same time, because it taught me a lesson of how harsh things are. And I'm going to end off by saying this for real this time. It's all the more reason why I'm against working for someone now. Because even that's not promised. The 9 to 5 cents, even that's not promised. Sometimes your managers are so corrupt they'll even pay you. Everyone says it's a safety net. Everyone says entrepreneurship or making money online by yourself, being your own boss, is risky. Yeah, everything's risky. And what happened to me served as a testament. Because even these bosses don't pay you sometimes. They fuck you over. And they have a track record of it. You have to have discernment, man. You need to have a wise eye. Identify the frauds. Find the fake and the frauds. Have that discernment. You'll be golden. No pun intended.